Good afternoon. My name is Antoinette Nirvana, and you're listening to the Body and Mind interviews. Body and Mind, your health directory for professionals. Welcome to the latest member on our Body and Mind, Silvio Dominani from the Modern Mystery School. Please help me correct there with your surname, Silvio.
Silvio Domignani.
Dominiani. All right, great, fantastic. Sorry about that. Cool. So we are here today to hear a little bit more about you, what it is you do, and I think the first thing that we'd like to start off is tell us a little bit about you, your background, how did you get onto this journey, and part of the Modern Mystery School.
Well, where do I start, really? I've been on a spiritual path for quite some time now, about 15 years. I first was introduced to Native American shamanism, and I became an apprentice in Native lineage. And I studied with them for 5 years, at which point I decided to take a break. And not even 2 months after I decided to take a break, I came across a person, and it was really divine intervention. And it's said that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I could not pass up an opportunity like that. And it was clear that before me stood a great teacher that I could learn a lot from. So I chose to follow her back to South Africa and begin my mentorship in the Western mystery tradition. And that's how I got here, and I've stayed ever since.
Wow, so that has been how long now that you've been here in South Africa doing this?
So I've been here for 7 years now,
Wonderful. Wonderful.
and oddly, people always ask me, "What are you doing here?" And I've realized from that question that people can come to take many things for granted. The grass is
Absolutely.
always greener on the other side.
Absolutely.
But South Africa's a beautiful country.
I
It,
agree.
it's got some of the best food in the world,
hmm
and it's full of warm-hearted and sincere people.
Absolutely. And like yourself, I've been all over the world, traveling and living, and being back in South Africa, yes, there are challenges everywhere. And we still have a lot of freedom here compared to the rest of the places that I've visited. So, welcome to South Africa.
Thank you so much.
Cool. So then I'd like you to tell us a little bit more then about this person that brought you here and the Modern Mystery School. What is it about? How long has it been around? What is this courses, or what is it that you have to offer? I'm very unfamiliar with the Modern Mystery School, although I've heard about it, and I think for anybody out there who's listening, to just give us a brief explanation on what it is all about and why would people want to come to the Modern Mystery School?
Well, to start with, my my mentor is an international master teacher in the school, and when I was introduced to the school, I always understood that if I was gonna walk another spiritual path, it would have to have a true lineage. And what I mean by that is something that has existed on the planet for thousands of years. Many of these teachings go back to King Solomon, which was the original person in the lineage who began to write these teachings down. And before that, these teachings came from the great civilization known as the Egyptians. And it goes even further back to that, to 8,000 years ago, to a man named Hermes Trismegistus. And he wrote some, or actually just spoke, like many teachers before, and later was written, the Hermetic tradition. So much of what the mystery tradition is about is these Hermetic and Kabbalistic knowledge and healings. So when King Solomon began to consolidate these healings, he brought many healers and oracles and high priests and priestesses into what we know was the great temple of Solomon. And in that temple, they began to analyze different types of healings from all over the world, and in a sense created the scientific process by which they kept what worked for everyone and eliminated what didn't work for everyone. So one of the great healings that came from that is called a DNA life activation. And this healing is one of the first healings that we suggest to people, and it brings much profound change into people's lives.
So, Silvio, let me just ask you then. So, being part of the modern school, so do you join to learn these different things, or do you come there to have them facilitated, like the DNA activation, or do you run courses or classes? That's modern mystery school kind of sounds to me like something where you go to learn something. Now, of course, the spiritual journey is a huge learning thing for us, how to activate those DNAs or energy healing or the shamanic ways or all of those things. But I'm wanting to find out, is this something where you could learn to become a facilitator in this, or is it something that you learn for your own personal growth?
Yes, great question.
And we've got about 2 minutes.
So I'm a guide in the mystery school tradition, or you can refer to me as a teacher.
Yeah.
And I can open the door for you to walk this path, to become a healer yourself. You can definitely become a healer and a guide. This is what we're training people to do, and one of those things is the life activation. Now, there's nothing, being a guide just means that I've walked this path further than you, and there's no reason you can't, in a sense, come up to my stage in the path or even surpass me. The great thing is that many masters have walked this path, and so the lineage means that it's a time-tested tradition. It's been tested over time, and such it works for everyone.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think what we'll need to do is definitely try and give people more information where they can read or get in contact with you. And so with that is, before we get into how they can contact you, what have you got coming up that's recent in classes or group sessions? Do you have anything that you could tell us about that people could join? And how can they get in contact with you?
Yes, for sure. We actually have the foundational workshop, which we call Empower Thyself, coming up on the 28th and 29th of October. And this 2-day workshop holds most of the foundational teachings of the lineage. It's really a lot of information and tools which you can use to implement into your life, just to live a more passionate, successful life and have greater connection to your spiritual self, your higher self.
And where are these taking place, Silvio?
We have a center in Bedford View, Johannesburg, and the center's name is Lamina Lukem, and the website is laminalukem.coza. And we also have a site which is named the Modern Mystery School SA.com, where you can find much more information about the lineage, the teachings, and the workshops.
Great. Do you want to give any other information before we wrap it up?
Yeah. people can reach me personally because I appreciate speaking on the phone, and my number is 073-347-8129. Alternatively, they could reach me by email on silvio.mmssa@gmail.com, and my name is spelled Silvio dot mmssa@gmail.com.
Great. Thank you, Silvio. And then just to wrap up, if you've missed any of those contact details, please go to our website at www.bodyandmind.co.za. You can put into the search bar Modern Mystery School, and you will be able to find Silvio's details there if you were not able to take any of those details down, which I'm sure you would. And we thank you very much for your time today. We are already a little bit over time, so I thank you for telling us a little bit
Well,
more.
just to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just to interrupt, Antoinette, it's actually on the website. I'm under my personal name, Silvio Dominiani, and at that you can see more information about the Modern Mystery School.
Fantastic. Thank you for correcting that. And thank you for this afternoon, and we look forward to chatting to you more in the future and then getting more in depth about the Mystery School and what it is that you have to offer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.